and ask our God to give him health, strength, wherever he may be. There we see of how he goes from place to place. There we see how he tends to sacrifice of his health, of his strength. For what? For the reason that he loves each and one of us. That his worry is great for each and one of us. Now, your brother invites you to do our prayer for the honor and the glory of our God. May our prayer have been for the honor and the glory of our God. We see how great, how the worry of the Holy Anointed Lord is for his nation. It is for his people. What in the Son, what can a son in his heart, what can a son do to his father, or demonstrate to his father? In a way, there's not much that a son can do for the father, for the parent. But maybe in a way, we see that example, in a way how the son, how when he truly loves his father, when he cares so much for his father, there we see when the father comes from work, or the mother comes from work, and in her and him, there is tiresome. They may feel very frustrated, but there we see how the son, as immediately when the mom or the father gets to a place of home, what do we see in the care of the son? Does he not run and try to take off of the shoes of the father? Does he not ask him, Father, are you thirsty? Are you hungry? Why? Because in him, he wants to show that demonstration of the love, of the same love that he receives from his mother, from that same love that he has received from his father. And it is the same love that they learn from who? From their father, from their mother. In the same way, brethren, Church of the Lord, we see how the worry of the Holy Anointed Lord is great for each and one of us. And what do we try and do? Maybe in a way demonstrate to him how much we care for him, how much we love him. But it is just the same love, it is just the same care that he has taught each and one of us. And what can we do? But just ask our God to give him help, to give him that strength wherever he may be. And may our God have been the one to listen to each and one of our prayers.
Amen.
And not just listen to each and one of our prayers, but may he also answer each and one of our prayers. Now, brothers, so we can keep on giving that beautiful glory and praising the name of our God.
Amen.
Your brother will like to invite you to open up our hymnal book to our hymn number 540 that says, I have a refuge in the rock Jesus. And tempest weather is very clear, and Jesus Christ gives my soul his comfort, and in this danger he gives me peace. If we have our hymn number 540, I invite you to sing it for the honor and the glory of our God.
I have a refuge
In the rock Jesus, in tempest weather is very firm,
and Jesus Christ
gives my soul his comfort, and
my salvation. I have great hope. A people Jesus is now preparing to reach Mount Zion. A holy place. Lost remaining, cause made firmly, although the tempest is blowing stronger, my hiding place, He has reassured me. It is the place I'll live someday. If storm winds o'erhead, viciously howling, the men are dying from wickedness. I will fear nothing. I have a refuge while I am walking unto my home. The rocks remaining, causes made firmly, although the tempest is blowing stronger, my hiding place, He has reassured me. It is the place I'll live someday. May our hymn have been for the honor and the glory of our God. Amen. What beautiful words we elevated them to our God. What beautiful words we just sang in our hymn. And as we said, when we sing of our hymns, we sing with love, with the understanding. When we sing of our hymns, we do not just sing them because we already know the hymn or the melody. No, we singing while we are singing of our hymn, we are meditating, reflecting on the beautiful words, and we have sang in our hymn, I have a refuge in the rock Jesus. In tempest weather, it's very firm, and Jesus Christ gives my soul His comfort, and if there's danger, He gives me peace. Church of the Lord, I ask you, have we been witnesses of the love of our God?
Amen.
Praise the Lord.
Your brother is going to ask you once more, Church of the Lord, have we been witnesses of the love of our God?
Amen.
Glory to God.
We've been a part how our God to this moment has been with each and one of us. How many of us could give testimony of a moment that we can say, our God took care of me in this moment.
Amen.
My God was with me to this moment. And there we are reflecting how great of the love and the mercy of our God is with each and one of us. And maybe in the hardest of times, there we see, maybe in ourselves we see how we do not find an answer. We do not find a place that we can go. And then it comes to each one of our hearts knowing that we have a faithful friend, that we have a place that we can go to. And there we are, going into the presence of the Lord, asking Him, begging Him to give us comfort, to answer each one of our prayers, which is what? That beautiful refuge, which is what? That beautiful rock, knowing that when we go to this place, knowing that when we go into the presence of our God, there is a mediator, there is someone that listens to each one of our prayers.
Amen.
And how beautiful it is to know that we have this refuge, knowing that we have this beautiful comfort that we can go to if it is just in the mercy and the love of our God to each and one of us. What can we do? How can we repay Him? We cannot. But we can give glories. We can give testimony of what our God has done to each and one of us. And what can we do? Keep on abiding in this beautiful love and the mercy of our God. And may our hymn have been for the honor and the glory of our God.
Amen.
Now your brother's going to invite you once more to go into the presence of our God. And in this prayer, we're going to elevate our prayer to ask for all the minister corps, to ask for our sister Eva and our sister Alma, that we see the care that our sisters have for the church. There we see the love that they also have for the church. And in them, we see a great example. We see how at every moment, at every instance, they are beside the Holy Anointed of the Lord. Here we see our sister Eva, of many years of being in the labor, of many years helping in the church of the Lord. And we see how she is advanced in age. But without a doubt, she may get tired. Without a doubt, she may get sick. But may our God be the one to give her comfort, to be with her at every moment, at every instance, and also to ask for each and one of our brothers that are in that labor of the Lord. Here we see of our brother Edmund, how he is also the one that comes to supervise of each and one of us in this place. And there we know how he's in that place in Australia. And God be with our brother Edmund. And our brother be with our brother Jonathan. There we see also how he was sick a couple months ago. He had a very delicate surgery. And God be the one to also to give strength to our brother, and also to all the ministers, pastors, wherever they may be. And our God also be with each and one of them, and also with each and one of us in this place. Amen. We know that we have a place that we may go to. In ourselves, it'll also, we may have our necessities, and maybe at the moment, at the time, we won't find an answer, and we see how time goes by, but there we see, after a while, or there we see at the instant, how our God answers each and one of our prayers. And our God, knowing that how He is merciful and full of love, we know that He will answer each one of our prayers. And also for the beautiful service of this evening, of this afternoon, may our God be with each and one of us. Now your brother invites you to do our prayer for the honor and the glory of our God. Amen. May our prayer that we have elevated unto our God have been for the honor and the glory to our God. Now your brother is going to read a part of Scripture so we can give initiation to our service in this beautiful afternoon. And it says like this, for the honor and the glory of our God. Amen. Is anyone of you in trouble? He should pray. Is anyone happy? Let him sing songs of praise. For the honor and the glory of our God. Your brothers may take your seats. We see, Church of the Lord, in this beautiful evening. Maybe it could be a couple of us. Maybe it's only 3, 4 of us. But how beautiful it is to know that the ones that are in this place come to this place with the same feeling. Come to this place for the same reason, which is to give what? The glory to our God. Give the praises to our Lord. And as we said in the beginning, if we were to sit down a moment and reflect what we received from our God, there will be many, countless, and blessings in abundance. And we could sit there and reflect what our God has done for each and one of us. The times that we've gone unto His presence, the times that we've been sick and He has given us health, the time to have with our family, to see, be able to see a younger brother be born. Brothers, if we were to take account for all the blessings that our God has done for each and one of us. In ourselves, there will come to recognition. And in ourselves, we would ask ourselves, how can I repay you, my Lord? But we know that there is no way that we can repay our God for what He has done for each and one of us. But in this afternoon, in this evening, we see that there are brothers with great joy. There are brothers with great happiness, wanting to come to this place, to elevate over Him unto our God, to elevate unto a presence unto our God. And we see that maybe at the moment it is our brother elevating his hand, or our sister elevating his hand, and as us, church, what is our responsibility? And also in the same feeling that we have with our sister and the hymn that our sister, our brother brings, we see that how do we participate? By glorifying. And then when we glorify, it's because we are in the same feeling as our brother, of our sister. And we see that in this evening, our brother Daniel has a beautiful feeling also, letting your brother know ahead of time that he wanted to come to this place to sing our hymn. May our brother Daniel take up his place for the honor and the glory of our God.
Amen.
Desire, your brother, that the peace and the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ continue to dwell in each and every one of your hearts.
Amen.
And as our brother has been expressing, your brother comes before the church of the Lord and before the presence of our God to elevate a hymn in a form of gratitude and expression towards our God, where the blessings of our Lord have been abundant towards each and every one of us, in a manner that it is undeniable in our lives that God has been operating, and He's been the one who has been lending us of His hand so that we may continue to triumph in our everyday lives. So your brother comes to offer this hymn to our Lord, and my brother's desire to make it theirs. We will do so, doing it in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ.
Amen.
Our hymn says like this, for the honor and for the glory of the Lord.
Praise God. Amen. Praise God.
Cuando viene a mi alma transformar.
Amen. Praise the Lord.
Trae paz a mi alma y corazón.
Amen. Praise God.
Y grandeza.
Praise the Lord, church of the Lord. Give glory to our God.
Qué dulce es cuando viene a mi ser.
Amen. Praise the Lord.
Y no
Praise God.
lo puedo comprender.
Amen.
Pues llena todo mi ser de luz,
Amen.
de paz, de felicidad, cuando viene a llenar mi corazón de luz, de paz, de felicidad, cuando viene a llenar mi ser. Qué dulce es el amor de mi Jesús, cuando vienes a mi alma transformar. Tu santa y dulce comunión concédenos, Señor. Qué dulce es caminar a tu mansión.
Amen.
piedad, cuando vienes a llenar mi corazón de luz, de paz, de felicidad, cuando vienes a llenar mi ser. May the hymn have been for the honor and for the glory of the Lord. Brother, reflecting upon the words of our hymnal, in which we say how our life is so beautiful when we feel the presence of our Lord in our life. Amen. How when our Lord comes and when He came into our lives changed completely. Amen. From a life that was void, from a life that was empty, without a purpose. Now we have in our life that fullness of our Lord. Now we have within our hearts that true happiness that our Lord provides, that peace that can only be found once accepting our Lord and Savior within our hearts. Amen. Glory be given to our Lord for all the blessings that He's allowed us. And once again, your brother would like to ask the church of their prayers, so that in every moment being in this place, your brother may be of that assistance to the holy anointed of the Lord. May it all have been for the honor and for the glory of the Lord. Now your brother dismisses himself, desiring that the peace and the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ dwell in each one of your hearts, and may God bless you.
Oh Lord, what so blind love, a gift from God above, without compare, just like the firm of the Vermont. So God did bless this world for ages more. Divine sweet love, oh what great love, for love is grace, and the shining light, the glory of His splendid love, was when they knelt Him upon the cross.
May the hymn of our brother and the hymn of the church, the welcoming hymn, have been for the honor and the glory of our God. How beautiful was the hymn of our brother.
Amen.
Your brother reflecting in the words, made me reflect. Your brother wants to give testimony as the church the Lord allows me. Earlier today, your brother received a call. Your brother for the longest had to embrace necessity into the presence of the Lord. Maybe for a year now. And to this moment, your brother has felt himself being in the greatest of debt with our God. Your brother's heart, maybe in a way, for this year, being in this place, your brother had a great necessity. In himself, there are many moments where your brother would get afflicted in his heart. Your brother would ask, what is it when my God is going to answer me? Today,
Praise the Lord, amen, praise God.
listening and reflecting onto the words of our brother's head.
Glory be to God.
It's very true, brother.
Amen, amen, praise God.
How beautiful is the love of our God.
Amen, praise God.
And there's nothing else but give it the glory and the honor that you
Amen,
deserve.
praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. And today, your brother gives testimony
Praise the Lord.
of that beautiful love of our God.
Amen.
Praise the Lord. And your brother, there's no way your brother being in debt with our God. This is just another day your brother is deeper in debt with our God.
How beautiful it is to know the truth of the Lord, that we serve the true living God,
Amen.
Praise the
Glory to
Lord.
God.
and that He answers our prayers
Amen.
and our necessities. Maybe at the moment we do not feel that answer, but there He is. He comes at the perfect moment.
Amen.
He knows when to come to each and one of us, brothers.
Amen.
Praise the
May
Lord.
we never leave that beautiful love of our God. May we not always give testimony of what our Lord has done with each one of our lives. And may the hymn of our brother have been for the honor and the glory of our God.
Amen.
Now also, our sister Ruth asked your brother earlier also today, accompanied with our sister Alejandra. And themselves, they had also the feeling to come to this place.
Amen.
May our sisters take their place for the honor and the glory of our God.
Brothers, may the peace and the grace to us in your hearts. Your sisters, with a lot of gratitude in my heart, listening to the words of my brother, how he said that we came with the same feeling. We came with the same mindset to worship the name of our Lord Jesus Christ,
Amen.
and to have that gratitude in our hearts, because we know that we see the grace of God, we see the blessings of God every day, every second, brothers. And that's why your sister, with a lot of gratitude in our hearts, brothers, wanted to unite with my brothers in the same
Praise God.
gratitude to our God, for our God to listen to our hymns, to listen to our prayers, brothers, our hymn, talking about the gratitude, talking
Praise the
about
Lord.
everything
Glory
that the
be
Lord
to
has
God.
given us. May the Lord
Amen.
receive this hymn.
Amen.
May the Lord receive this hymn that says like this, for the honor and the glory of the Lord.
Amen.
Amen.
Vengo a suplicar de mi Señor, que me dejes descansar en tu amante pecho, mi Señor, como el apóstol Juan.
Amen.
Me has dado tantas cosas,
Praise the
mi
Lord.
precioso
Glory to God.
Jesús. Me has dado paz, me has dado
Praise the
fe,
Lord.
me has dado amor, me has dado gozo eterno en plenitud. Me has dado
Praise
tantas
God.
cosas,
Glory be
mi
given to our God.
precioso
Praise the Lord.
Jesús, que yo sería ingrato si negara tu amor. Cuando estoy, Señor, ante tu altar, se conmueve el corazón de verte clavado en una cruz por mis culpas y miedos. Me siempre de estar, cual María oyendo hablar, porque en su amor me ha dado paz, gozo, dicha y solas. Me has dado tantas cosas, mi precioso Jesús. Me has dado paz, me has dado fe, me has dado amor, me has dado gozo eternal en plenitud. Me has dado tantas cosas, mi precioso Jesús, que yo sería ingrato si negara tu amor. For the honor for the God of the Lord, like we stated in our chorus, how much our precious Jesus has given to each and every one of us.
Amen.
And how beautiful it is for us to understand and to acknowledge that we know that as well. Perhaps there is many beautiful instruments that we're able to give praise to our God. But how beautiful it is that we know that we don't need any instrument, because what we feel in our heart when we sing to our God, to the living God, we know that He is hearing us.
Amen.
And this is the perfect way to reach to Him, to cause Him happiness, for us to pay back the gratitude that we have received in each and one of our hearts. It is a beautiful and a very beautiful pleasure as well to be part of this beautiful church.
Amen.
And we know that this blessing, it is not because we have worked on ourselves, for we know that this work, it is because of the anointing of the Lord.
Amen.
That is why we also pray, ask for your prayers. First, for the anointing of the Lord, may God keep prospering him and helping him in step of the way. We don't know, perhaps in the next city that he's going to present himself. Perhaps that is a plan, but we don't know. There's times he is also flesh that maybe a sickness can arise, but we know that if we put it in the hands of God, he's going to take care of the anointing of the Lord. And also as well put in the hands for our greatest necessity together as a battalion, for the souls to keep hearing this beautiful word of God. We're going to remember the souls, and at the end of the prayer, you have it in your hearts to remember your sisters for the necessities that we have. Some of them, perhaps you are aware of what necessity we have in our hearts, but there are other things that we have that our God is the one who knows.
Amen.
We ask you that you tell God, for God to always grant us sincerity in our hearts and loyalty to the anointing of the Lord. And may everything that we have done have been for the honor and for the glory of the Lord. Now our desire is that the peace and the grace dwell in each and one of your hearts, and may the Lord bless you.
Amen. May the hymn of our sisters have been for the honor and the glory of our God.
Amen.
There we see, brothers, the manifestation. There we see how our brother that came up to sing expressed how much gratitude was in his heart. Now we see also our sisters expressing how much happiness and joy also is in each one of their hearts. And then we see how maybe in our sayings are not the same with other phrases, but at the end we see how we know that what we receive from our God, that what we receive is from our God. And then we see how in our hymns, in our presence that we elevate to our God, maybe in different hymns, but they all lead to the same thing, brothers. May the hymn of our brother and our sister have been for the honor and the glory of our God. Now, brothers, so we can give ending to this beautiful service, so we can give welcoming to this beautiful service. Your brother is going to invite you to go into a prayer to ask of our God. May he be the ones to receive
of what we have done to this moment, that the service that we have done to the moment have been for His honor and for His glory. And also, we are to remember of our brother that is to bring others remembrance. May it be our God to give your brother words. May it be our God to be the ones to God of your brother's lips. So we can, our brothers that, there's a brother that is to bring the remembrance, to be able to bring the remembrance of the way that our God wants to, the way that also our brothers are able to receive it, to receive of that beautiful spiritual nourishment, of that beautiful strength, that beautiful spiritual health, and also for the necessities of our brothers and of their hymns. Now, your brother, I ask you to do our prayer for the honor and the glory of our God. Holy Father, I come to you, God, just you, Lord. May our prayer have been for the honor and the glory of our God. Amen. Your brother begs of each and one of your mental prayers, knowing that with the remembrance that is to come this afternoon, it is not just because of what your brother speaks. It is not of the eloquency of the way that your brother speaks, not that your brother speaks eloquently, or maybe that the way that your brother expresses himself is very nicely. No, may it be our God, it be the one to God of your brother's lips. May the Spirit of the Lord be the one to God of your brother's lips, so we can all find edification, so we can find this beautiful spiritual nourishment. Amen. So we can give, now that we have sang our hymns unto the presence of the Lord, now that we have elevated our hymns unto the presence of our God, we see that there is also a moment to give the remembrance to ourselves, to find the spirit of the spiritual health, and so we can give initiation to remembrance of our God in this beautiful evening, this beautiful afternoon, or this night. We really invite you to open up our Bibles. And in James chapter 2, verse 18, that it says like this, for the honor and the glory to our God. But someone will say, you have faith, I have deeds. Show me your faith with your deeds, and I will show you my faith by what I do, for the honor and the glory of our God. Amen. Our brothers may take of their seats. The brother would like to start off in this night to be able to reflect, to acknowledge, to take a moment to see of the worry of the apostle of God. And there we see, Church of the Lord, how in a way we can put ourselves in the place, not of in the place of the holy ones of the Lord, but not in this place of the election, but in the place that he is in the situation, or in the worry that he is in his perspective. And we see how your brother would like to start off by that example of the father. When that father has a child, what is the greatest fear, or what is the greatest worry of the father? Is it not to instruct them correctly? Amen. Is it not for his son to be a great citizen, to be someone respectable? So our sister says, with someone with education, with someone that we can see and be in a way the father wants his son to be that way, that person can be our brothers, even in that sense, also be better than him. But we also see how that father wants other people to say, I want my son to be like yours. But we see for his son to be that way, to be educated that way, we see how much effort, we see how much worry of that father is. And there we see how in himself, the father, what does he do? Day and night tries a way to what? To educate his son, to try to take him to school, tell him, no, don't act this way, don't speak of this way, don't act of this way. But what? Because he wants the what? The best for his child. What does he want? The best. He wants his child to be what? To be someone in life. Our brothers is in a way, someone that stands out. But for that father to accomplish that, what comes about of that worry? That what? That worry, that care. But what is it? Maybe the son doesn't what? He does not understand why his father pushes him so much, why he wants him so much to go to school. And in his way, the father, what does the son do? He turns around and sees his father. Well, why does my father instruct me this way? Why does my father push me this way? Well, we see because in his father, what? Is that love? Is that care? He does not see of the worry. But if his son saw that worry, if his son was in the place of that father, we'll see how much he would give thanks, how much happy, or how much, in a way, he would try to repay his father for what he is doing for his son. It is the same way, church of the Lord, with each and one of us. There we see how in ourselves, there is the worry of the apostle of God for the church. There is that care for the church of the Lord. And as your brother said, your brother in a way, trying to put ourselves in the perspective or in the place of the Son of God, of that love, of that worry, of that care for he has for each and one of us. We see that maybe we do not what? We do not see or we do not acknowledge of how great of the love, of the care that the Holy Anointed of the Lord has, or of the worry that the Holy Anointed of the Lord has for each and one of us. But so we can take, so we can see, so we can take to that place how much, so we can see how we see how the worry of the Holy Anointed of the Lord also for each and one of us, what is it? What was the thing that he gave to each and one of us? The faith. That the manifestation, that the faith is given by what? Or given by the manifestation, by works, by deeds. But there we see how there can be what? There can be a false faith. A what? A false, maybe in a way of faith, or maybe an apparent, what? Apparent faith. And that was what the worry of the Holy Anointed of the Lord. And in the way, as your brother said, let us feel, let us personalize of that worry. Let us put ourselves in that perspective of the worry of the apostle of God. In the way, how many of us have younger brothers? How many of us have younger sisters? If not, if your brother is not mistaken, maybe in a way all of us. But if we do not, how many of us have older brothers or older sisters? If not, everyone in this place does. But we see that older brother. What is it? How is that example or that way of us having that older brother? That older brother can what? Can know. The older brother, what does he do when he loves his brother, or he takes care of so much of his brother, or worries about his brother? What does he do? Does he not make sure that his brother does the correct thing? To make sure that that his younger brother does the correct thing? Why? Because he wants also what? The best for his brother. He wants to what? He wants the benefit, a great benefit for his brother. But we see that in ourselves, knowing, in a way, trying to personalize and put ourselves in the perspective of the Holy Anointed of the Lord, in a way, in an example, it can be the way of us with our younger brothers, of our siblings, our younger brother, or our younger sister. There we are. In a way, we are the ones that are able to see of their works. We are the ones that are able to maybe, if they are what? Doing what is good or what is wrong. And there we see if our brothers' works are not according to the work of our God, what is going to come to each one of our hearts? Is it not, maybe in a way, it could worry each and one of us in our way. We see that of that younger brother, of our younger sister, what are we going to do? To make sure that he does not fall in the wrong path. To make sure that our brother is doing the correct thing. Why? Because we see, if you do so, if you do of the correct thing, there is what? At the end of our career, our spiritual career, there's what? There is a restitution of that recompense, which is what? The eternal life. But we see, how do we know, maybe in the words, or how do we know if our brother or our sibling, how do we know if he has the faith of our God or have an apparent faith? Was that not one of the worries of the holding on to the Lord?
Amen.
We see that the faith, what produces works. We see that also without faith, it is what? Impossible to what? To please God. To what? To please Him. To, in a way, to satisfy Him. Is it not so, brothers? This was a phrase that the servant of God used. This was also, we see that in the Scripture is also given that without faith, it is impossible to do what? To please our God, to satisfy our God. And there we see, brothers, that the faith of God is what? The true faith. And then we also see how there's 3 points, and also the what? The non-sincere faith. The faith that we are able to see what? Through the words or through the deeds, that we can see if it is what? A sincere faith, or is it what? An unsincere faith. If it is a true faith, or is it a false faith? In a way, also an unfeigned faith, which is, as we said, a non-sincere faith. But how do we know if I have that faith of God, or if I have an apparent faith? As we read, brothers, in the beginning, was in James chapter 2, verse 18. Your brother will reread it. But someone will say, you have faith, I have deeds. Show me your faith without deeds, and I will show you my faith for what I do. For the honor and the glory of our God. There we see this. What is a way that we are able to what? To manifest of this faith? Well, what is the way that we are able to show of this faith? Is it not by one of them? The obedience, the clear demonstration of that faith. We say without faith, what is impossible to what? To please God. And so we see if we do not have that faith will not what? Produce works, will not give those works. And what is the way that we can, in a way, to be able to see of that faith, or of that, if we have that true faith, or we have the faith of God, or we have an apparent faith. As we said, there we are able to see of what? Of the works. Maybe how many of the times, if we were to see of our brother, our younger brother, says, or maybe you see him that he goes to church, and there he is, but what is the way that we are able to distinguish that if there's that true faith, or is that sincere faith, or that apparent faith? Maybe in himself, you are able to hear a phrase, oh, well, I have to come to church today because mom made me, because my dad made me come to church. Our sister says, feeling obligated. What? Feeling obligated to what? To go to that place, saying in what? Demonstrating in what? That in that younger brother, there is what? There was not that feeling. It did not come from his heart to do what? To go to the church. It wasn't of himself to go to the church saying, today I'm going to get up to give us a hymn to our God. Or when there's an opportunity, we see what? That brother does what? Stays there, does not show what the gratitude. Or we see that maybe he goes to church, but while he's at church, there we see how he goes out to the restroom and stays there for a long period of time, or maybe stays outside and himself saying, finding an excuse to stay outside, to do what? An excuse to not be inside of the church. Maybe saying, well, I'm cleaning up. Well, we see, church of the Lord, that there is what? There is a time for everything.
Amen.
There is a moment to be able to clean. We see that it is a good deed. But during the church time, or during time, the time frame when church is going on, no. You see either what, before or what, or after. Oh, we see that beautiful, that true faith of our God. We'll see that brother will do what? He'll be there before church times. He'll be there maybe 5, 10 minutes earlier, 15, doing what? Singing or what? Hymns unto our God. In a way, trying to show the gratitude that there is unto our God. Or maybe in a way, trying to please Him. And what do we say? That without faith, it is impossible to please God. So we have that true faith of God. What is it going to do, brothers? What is that younger brother, if he has the true faith of our God, what is he going to do? He's going to be there, what? Through his works, through his deeds. He is going to be there, what? Before church. Or maybe if he sees that the church maybe is a little dirty, or maybe that the grass outside the church needs maintenance, what is he going to do? He's going to, before church, what? Cut that grass, then go to church and be there on time. And afterwards, maybe himself, there is a manifestation, and himself, he shows that maybe he wants to be a part of the choir, and there he is, what? Staying for those choir studies. Maybe we see how the church of the Lord, how the choir has a very beautiful place in the church, and in themselves they have to maybe sacrifice a little, our sister's discipline or sacrifice of that time a little longer, maybe an hour or 30 minutes longer, what, of their personal time. But why do they do it? Because in themselves there is a faith that's been put in their hearts, and they are trying to what? To satisfy our God. They are trying to do what? Please of our God. But we also see that there is that one that maybe is what? A parent. Maybe himself, he's, in a way, he's trying to demonstrate that he is what? That he has a what? The faith of our God. But little by little, you are able to distinguish.
Amen.
You are able to what, Church of the Lord? You are to distinguish. Why? Because we see that maybe if that brother, younger brother, he is in choir studies, maybe he is there. Why? Because his mom told him. Or maybe because the mom is also in choir studies, and she maybe the son goes to church with her mother, and that's his way back to go to home, or the only way to go to the house. There we see that the mother, maybe from the beginning of the church, let's go, we have to go to church, and there is a son maybe mad, and maybe there's nothing else to do. In a way, the son doesn't see that there's nothing else to do after church, so what does he do? He stays with the choir. But why? Because in himself, he was feeling obligated. In himself, there was not the feeling to do what? To be in that choir study. And even in that choir study, you're able to see what? See if he is actually trying to put up his part, trying to put up his discipline to what? To sing, to learn of that hymn that the choir is singing. There are what? Ways that you are able, what? Deeds, words. And we also see that also how there are also that saying, maybe, or there is a phrase that the Church of the Lord may use, or as brothers, we may use when we go out, maybe in the sense of form, when we go out to preach. Maybe in the way we say, what do we say? I am what? I am a Christian. I am Christian. Or maybe back in our places, or back in the places in the church, we hear from our brothers when they're preaching, or in themselves, they say, I am a Christian. I am from the light of the world. But brothers, is our brother not just a brother in church? We see our brother that comes to church on time, maybe. Or we see that maybe our brother tries to go to church, and he is there, and at the church he leaves. But once he is back at home, or once he goes to his job, our brother says, maybe he acts differently. But if our brother had that beautiful faith, our brother would be what? The same. The brother that we see in church that goes early on time. We see that there is a brother that he is there trying to, in a way, help. And we see how brothers are what attentive. There is
the blessing of being able to read a part of Scripture, or get up to sing. There we see of our brothers that are what? The very first ones to get up. We see the brothers that are what? Trying to receive that blessing, trying to work for that blessing. Why? Because in themselves they have received what? The true, what? Faith of our God.
Amen. Praise the Lord.
And as we said, the faith what? Produces works.
Amen.
So, if our brother has that true faith, what do we see? That he is going to do what? He's going to create, he's going to what? Make of this what? Of these part of your brother. We see that our brother, through the faith, that the faith produces works, produces deeds. We'll see that our brother, at every moment, through that faith, he's going to be what? Producing of those works, producing of those deeds. Not because he wants someone else to see him. No, but because in our brother, he has what? Recognized, he has that true faith. He recognizes and sees that happiness and that joy that he has in his heart, that what he has received, he truly believes. And then we see that our brother does it if there was someone there or without someone being there. Why? Because in our brother, he has that gratitude in his heart. He has that faith that our God has truly what? Put in his heart. But there we see how our brother is that brother in church and also where? Outside of church. And his job, don't we see or that true brother that has that faith in his heart? What would he hear from other people or the Gentiles? Why do you speak this way? You do not speak like everyone else at work. You do not take your attitude or your personality or even in the way that you act is very distinguished. Maybe, yes, you do in a way, joke around. Maybe you are a very happy person, but we see that you do everything to a certain extent. We see that you are there trying to help everyone every moment. You are trying to be an example to everybody else. What is our brother doing? Even in the world or in his work, what is our brother doing? Showing. He is distinguishing himself through the works that he is doing. Even in the material work, what is our brother doing? Distinguishing himself, making what? Those works or those deeds through his example, saying that he is a true Christian. And also, we see of the brother that maybe in a way also goes to church. In a way also maybe gets up to sing, or he may go work at the church when they are asked to, or maybe give of his offerings, or we see that there are different ways. But when he goes to his work, we see that he is a total different person. Which it should not be that way.
No.
But that is when the question comes in, how do I know? What, brother? How do I know if I have what? The faith of God, or have what? An apparent faith? Which is, we said that the theme was the what? The faith produces work, but we also see the manifestations through what? Through the faith. And as what the Son of God said, that the faith of God is what? The true faith. And then there's also what? That unfeigned faith, which is what? Not sincere, or the words or deeds say otherwise. And we see on that brother at church, he is someone, but when he goes to work, his language, it is maybe like his co-worker. The way of acting is also the way of his co-workers. Many ways that what we are able to distinguish. Many ways that we are able to tell of what? Of the way, if our brother has that true faith that has been what? Deposited in his heart. Many of the times also, we see, brother, that it should not be of this way. But may we always ask of our God that may he what? Protect this beautiful faith. May he help us also, because we see that our God is always there at every moment, at every instant. He wants the what? The best for each and one of our souls. He wants the best for each and one of our lives. But it's also what? Our responsibility to do what? To strengthen, to also
do of our part in the way that we come to the church, in a way that we see that the faith also comes through the hearing of the Word of God. So it is our responsibility to come to church. It is also our responsibility to come to this place and ask also when our God is helping us to also do our part so we can work, so we can take care of the true faith that our God has given to each and one of us. That may it not be an apparent faith, or may it not be a non-sincere faith. No, may our faith be sincere. And may our words, may through the faith that our God has given in our hearts, may we demonstrate through the faith that our God has given us what? That we have the true faith. Does your brother give himself to understand?
Amen.
And may the short remembrance of this evening, of this night, very not very clearly explain or remember. Pardon your brother. Your brother keeps on asking of your prayers. But may the short remembrance of this night, of this evening, have been for the honor
Amen.
and the glory of our God. Now, your brothers, to give, so we can give ending to this beautiful remembrance of this beautiful service, of this beautiful night. Your brother invites you to open up our hymns, to our hymn number 37. It says, "O love, O what sublime love, a gift from God above, without compare." It is our hymn number 37. We see that in this last prayer, it is for what? For the petition, for the necessities. And as one of our sisters that came to this place, and her offering and her present, we see that she said, it is true. Maybe our God knows many of our necessities. Our God knows many of our petitions, but there are also other petitions that maybe the church of the Lord does not know, but our God is the one that also knows. And as children of God, and that beautiful blessing that we have received, you see that we receive what? Many blessings of what? Of our God. Through the title of what? Being child of God. But we see that one of those blessings is being able to come to this place and to go into His presence and ask Him of His help, ask Him of His need. And your brother invites you to remember for all the elderly brothers, for all of our brothers that are in schools. We see that the Church of the Lord is very great in number, and everyone has the necessity of the petition, and also those souls that are also coming to this place and listening to the Word of God. And for each and one of us in this place that have our necessities, your brother is only going to invite you to sing the first and second verse of our hymn number 37, and your brother invites you to sing it in our knees for the honor and the glory of our God. Oh, love, oh, what sublime love, I give from God above, without compare, just like the firm rock of Hermon, so God did bless His rose, for ages Lord, divine sweet love,
and the shining light, the glory of His splendid love was evident in Him upon the cross. May our prayer have been for the honor and the glory of our God. Now, dear brothers, I'd like to invite you, and as we heard from each and one of our brothers, manifesting how great our God has been with each and one of us. There is no other way that we will be able to repay our God. But knowing that with a sincere and contrite heart, we are able to go into His presence and tell Him how great He has been with each and one of us, how great His love and His mercy has been toward all of us. Church, the Lord, your brother speaks for himself, and your brother invites you to go into His presence, to worship and praise, and give Him the honor and the glory that He deserves in this beautiful prayer. I invite you to do it for the honor and the glory of our God. May everything that we have done have been for the honor and the glory of our God. Now, your brother dismisses himself. May the peace and the grace of our God dwell in each and one of your brother's hearts, and may God bless you all.
Amen.